So as you know, we've been covering an upcoming RTS game called Dustfront, and it's been spectacular to see its development. The game looks absolutely fantastic, and today we have got some details of new screenshots shared on Steam, as well as some very short gameplay clips, but we'll extract all the information that we can from them. Together, these screenshots and very short footage paint a very clear picture of what kind of strategy game this is becoming. Dustfront doesn't look like it's going to be about fast clicks or flashy micro. It looks to be about pressure, preparation, and overwhelming force. From the very first images, the atmosphere does most of the talking. Smoke-choked battlefields, scorched concrete, burning wrecks, and endless defense structures give the sense of a world locked in a permanent siege. This is not war that moves quickly, it grinds forward. One of the biggest takeaways from both the screenshots and the new video clips is how central artillery really is. We are shown dedicated squads of spotter artillerymen operating ahead of the main force. These units don't deal damage themselves, instead they exist to see further, mark targets, and guide destruction. Once a spotter squad corrects fire on a target, any free artillery unit with the appropriate firing mode will immediately lock on and begin shelling, no matter the distance. There's no need to manually retarget each gun. The system is designed to simulate real battlefield coordination rather than arcade-style commands. What's especially interesting is how Dustfront handles range. When artillery fires beyond its standard auto-attack range, the cannons physically change their firing angle. Shells follow a much higher, more curved trajectory and land with noticeably wider spread. This means that long-range fire is devastating but less precise, perfectly reinforcing the idea of saturation bombardment rather than pinpoint strikes. This mechanic explains the chaos we see in so many screenshots. Entire areas are blanketed in explosions, infantry scatter, structures collapse, and fires spread across the terrain. You are not sniping units, you are erasing grid squares. This also ties directly into the doctrine system. One of the translated panels highlights the siege doctrine, which unlocks specialized siege weaponry and prioritizes massed artillery fire. The text explicitly states that the doctrine emphasizes overwhelming firepower and large-scale bombardments, and the visuals back it up completely. And this brings us to one of the most imposing units shown so far, the Dreadnought. If you've ever wondered why it carries that name, well, the answer becomes obvious the moment that it fires. The term Dreadnought originally described warships built around exceptionally heavy artillery. These were usually designed to dominate entire battlefields through sheer firepower. In Dustfront, the unit perfectly fits that classification. Massive, slow, and armed with absurdly powerful guns, the Dreadnought isn't just another tank. It's a mobile siege engine, built to break fortified lines and crush resistance through raw artillery dominance. When it fires, the battlefield responds. Shockwaves, sustained barrages, and enemy formations simply cease to exist. Now, these screenshots also reveal a lot through translated mission objectives. Messages like if your buildings are destroyed, you will be defeated, destroy enemy factories, hold positions, and destroy giant incubators make it clear that Dustfront missions are multi-layered. You are defending key structures while simultaneously pushing into enemy production zones. The mention of giant incubators is of course especially telling. These aren't mechanical factories, they are biological structures, confirmed visually by massive organic creatures advancing across the battlefield. We know of course that they represent one of the three factions. They are evolved mutants born from extreme bioengineering that has reshaped humanity to survive on a lifeless planet. They have abandoned traditional industry entirely, replacing metal and concrete with living, breathing structures made of flesh and organic matter. Led by scientists and radical visionaries who reject the Empire's cold mechanical ideas, the mutants rely on brutal biological power. Their armies feature massive laboratory-grown beasts designed to smash enemy lines through sheer force and adaptability. Opposing them, we have the Industrial Empire, representing absolute control through machinery and order. Ruled by the Tsar Orb, a General Secretary Emperor, the Empire fields synthetic humans engineered to surpass their organic predecessors in strength, speed, and obedience. To them, weakness is a defect to be erased with overwhelming firepower and endless ranks of steel-clad soldiers. Their vision of the future is rigid and authoritarian, and anything that does not conform to their perfect mechanical blueprint is crushed without hesitation. The third faction, known as the Robotic Escalation, is the most mysterious of all. These machines appear without warning, constructed from crude, outdated metals, yet driven by technology far beyond human understanding. No one really knows who created them or why. Some believe they represent a final escape from both flesh and consciousness itself. They fight both the Empire and the mutants with equal hostility, operating in eerie silence and perfect precision, as if executing a long-forgotten directive. Together, these three factions form the core conflict of Dustfront, each embodying a different future for humanity in a world where its past has already turned to dust. Dustfront clearly pits industrial militarism against something far more grotesque and unnatural. Outside of combat, the strategic layer is fully visible. The campaign map shows sectors, cities like Wyvern, weekly progression, and resource income per turn. The user interface explains that the capital sector generates resources every round, but losing it means immediate defeat. This isn't just a sequence of skirmishes, it's a structured campaign where long-term planning matters. Industrial development plays a major role here. Research screens show upgrades that come with real trade-offs, like increased firing range at the cost of armor. You are shaping how your army fights, not just making it stronger. Now, by the time we reach the later screenshots, the scale is undeniable. Dozens of infantry units advance behind tanks, repair vehicles work under fire, flame turrets hold choke points, and artillery pounds the horizon. The minimap is dense with movement, reinforcing that Dustfront is built around sustained, large-scale warfare. Every system shown, from spotter-guided artillery to siege doctrines and Dreadnought-class units, supports a single design philosophy. This is an RTS about domination through preparation and firepower, not necessarily speed. Taken together, these new screenshots and gameplay clips don't just show progress, they show intent. Dustfront RTS is shaping up to be a deliberate, heavy, and atmospheric strategy game where artillery defines the battlefield and every advance feels earned through planning and destruction. If you are looking for an RTS that embraces siege warfare in both mechanics and tone, Dustfront is making its message very clear. And if you would like to see a much bigger breakdown of Dustfront RTS, I'll leave an end card on your screen right now where you can just find out a lot more about the game. Judging by what we've seen so far, this war has only just begun.